You know, sometimes God will bring people into your life that will start something for you that you don't even know you're ready for. And then once they just give you the idea, like they just mention it to you, it's wise to just take it up from there. We had lots of hurdles. I mean, my husband had a fire accident, and then I had COVID. I was pregnant at that time. You know, a lot of things just started happening. I could see that devil's hand is in this. Hello family, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blessing if you're following me for the first time, and on this channel we do all things beauty, fashion and lifestyle. I like to show you the things I do around my house, how I try to make it a home, and how also I'm trying to make myself look beautiful amongst all of these things that I do, and of course without breaking the bank. So in today's video I am just essentially telling you my testimony, if you would call it that, about how I was able to manifest the house we live in right now into existence. So prior to, you know, this beautiful space you've seen, you know that I'm still trying to decorate. In case you haven't seen it, like, you know, I've got like spaces upstairs and downstairs that I'm still decorating, but I'm still just soaking in this space because previously, before we moved in here, I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. When I say 2-bedroom apartment, I don't mean your regular life size. I was living in London, and you know, London homes are really small, and I was living there with my husband and 4 young children. So that was not the plan. The plan was after 2 kids we're going to buy a house, but then we started doing our sourcing. First of all, I went to my accountant because I was doing my business then, so I had an accountant, and I told him about house. Actually, he put it to me, you know, sometimes God will bring people into your life that will start something for you that you don't even know you're ready for. And then once they just give you the idea, like they just mention it to you, it's wise to just take it up from there. So he actually mentioned it to me, you know, are you thinking of a mortgage, getting a mortgage, because sorting out your accounting is really essential when it comes to that. And I was like, it's not like I never thought about that. I just, you know how you just don't know whether you're eligible for something, you just don't know that it's for you. You want it, but you think you still have to prepare for it. And then boom, he introduced me to a mortgage advisor, and that's how my husband knew that he had a CCJ, county court judgment. He didn't even know he had that because he doesn't buy things on credits. You know, why that might sound like he has a lot of money. No, that's not the case. The thing is just, you know, he was just not aware that this is something he needed to do. Because, you know, sometimes when you're comfortable with what you have, you're comfortable with, I need a phone, I'll just pay my money, I don't want to owe anybody. Sometimes you think that that is you not owing debt, but when it's time for you to do bigger things, that's when you realize that I should have actually been doing stuffs like this, like building up my credits. So because he was never thinking in that line, he didn't know he had a CCJ. So how did he get a CCJ? Long story short, it was just from a phone company, EE to be precise. They gave him a shitty service, and he said that he wasn't going to make the payment, and they took him to court. Probably they sent a letter to his old address and he missed it. So that's how it lingered on. So that was a problem because it was just a year and as at that time. So we had to wait for 2 years just so we are halfway in to the CCJ. And then I will tell you why, you know, that is actually not a big problem, but we didn't know because the person that gave us the information only gave us that information. So, and then we had to hold on. But I was curious. I kept, you know, going on social media looking for, you know, somebody that could help us. And then I came across this lady on YouTube. I called her and she's like, yeah, she can give me a mortgage even with the CCJ. Okay, now they told us all we need to do. We started working on it. So we needed to put our finance together. We needed to do a lot of things. We needed to also make sure we had the deposit. We needed to know what property we need so we know how much to put down, you know, how to work. If we're working like 6 hours in a week, we now need to up our working hours. You know, we need to get the money. Anyway, so now that is not even the big problem. Now putting your mindset that you deserve a house, you can get the house, is another thing. Now you're saving the money, but what about your mindset? Is your mindset right? Do you believe you can actually get that house? And you could all of a sudden start seeing videos that tells you, oh, getting a house is not a wise thing, because now you have the house, you're going to start thinking of how to make the payment, you're going to, you know, all of those stuff. You know, that is when you start actually seeing videos like that. You start getting scared of getting into that kind of commitment. But if you look into the flip side or the positive side of owning a mortgage, you will see that there is equity there, there is generational wealth there, there is, you know, retirement plan in owning homes, you know. So there is a good stuff. If you can just, you know, work out how you can get the house and forget about how, you know, it's good to think about what you're going to pay in the nearest future, but don't let that weigh you down. Now, moving into this, we had lots of hurdles. I started realizing that different things started to come up. I mean, my husband had an accident, a home accident, a fire accident. It was you know, it was just the steam from the fire that affected him, and he had to be in hospital for a month. You know, they did skin graft on him and all of that. So that was that actually took us back some steps. You know, I was even scared to open my mouth and ask my husband, what are we doing about this house process? So that was a setback. And then I had COVID. I was pregnant at that time. You know, a lot of things just started happening. I could see that devil's hand is in this. You know, it could be little as a house, you know, it could be little as a house, but because devil is moving around trying to put God's children down, because having a house is a step up. First of all, it will make you work harder, and in working harder you would have more opportunity. Do you understand? You have more, you make more meaning to your life. You know, in working harder you could start thinking of ways you never knew existed for you to actually, you know, get closer to your retirement plan, because nobody needs to be out here working for eternity. I decided to go into prayers. I went into prayers, girl. I went into fasting, I went into prayers, and then I went into I went into journaling, then I went into affirmation. If you know me, you know that anything I want in life, I affirm it. Now, how do I do this? I go start writing on the wall. You know, I don't even care who's gonna see. Like when I needed my daughter, you know, I needed my last child to be a girl, I went into affirmation. I was writing everywhere. Anybody I see, I talk about it. So this is the approach I was using. So I went into affirmation. Every day I'm praying, I'm talking about it. I'm telling my husband we're getting a house this year. This year will run out. The next year we'll get into the plan again, and I'll tell him this is the year. It took us 3 years, and then that year we run out, and then the next year I never lost hope. I never said, okay, let's stop this process. I wrote down specifically the house I wanted, and that is where I'm settled in today. I wrote down that I wanted 4 bedrooms. I think I also wrote down that I wanted the visitor's bedroom not to be close to our bedroom, and the visitor's bedroom today is downstairs. And then I said that I wanted my kitchen to be behind in case I want to extend the kitchen, but my kitchen is just enough space for me, but it's just behind. I specifically told my God that I wanted my living room to be like a grand style, because that's something you hardly see in the UK, especially in London. And I also said I wanted to move outside of London. Baby, when I was looking for home, I was viewing homes that were not up to the standard that I just mentioned, because, you know, I started giving up on what I wanted. But God kept blocking those homes. God kept blocking those homes. The last day, which I had said to myself that, you know what, I'm tired of this, I think we're going to leave this till the next year, was when I came to view this home. And it was just, I just fell in love. I told my husband, this is our house. I was going to settle for one other house. You know, I was just like, we could be there for 3 years and then put it on rent and get a different house. But when I saw this home, I just saw the potential. I knew we could change some things in the kitchen. I just knew we could make do with this, and that's what we did. And that is how we moved into this home. One of the things I would want you to note is that if you're going to get a house, you need to start now. If you one day want to have a house and you're already saving towards it, don't wait till you have the large money, the large sum. Don't wait till you have the confidence. Don't wait. Just get a mortgage advisor and let them start working with you, because there's a lot of things you might not know. Register on Xperia. right? Experience, something like that, and check your credit score and know how much credit score you have, and know how you can actually work that you can put in, because experience can actually help you and make you know work that you can put in. It could just be little things that will help you increase your credit score, because that's going to help, you know. Get your facts from multiple mortgage advisors. Now, I told you that one of the mortgage advisors told me that I would not be able to get this house with my husband. That was a big lie. I could, but I believe that's what the information he had. And then another one said that my husband had 2 years, had gone in 2 years in his CCJ. He said that we couldn't get a house, and thankfully I was sourcing around for different mortgage advisors, and that's how we knew that we could actually get a mortgage if we want it so badly. All we just need to do is get it from a high street lender, and then after the first years of the contract, because they do this contract in segments, so when you have a mortgage they'll give you like 2.5 years contract to sign. You go into another contract, so they will review the contract. If they're going to add money to your monthly payments, you know, they will do it. If they're going to reduce it, they will do it, you know. So when you're renewing it, you can now move away from your high street lender and go to the bank, because the difference between a high street lender and a bank is that the bank will reduce the percentage you're paying, you know. So that's the big difference. So you can now go away from the high street to the bank. So that's the information we did not have. Another thing that you will also know is visit as many homes as you can. Visit as many homes as you can. So even before you have your money saved, start looking for homes, start visiting home, because now you will know the area that you like. You also know okay, this is the kind of houses they have in this area. If you wanted to get a house in like London, you start knowing the areas that have fine homes, you know. So it's also good in your spare time. Also visit Zoopla or House on the Market, just so you know that's where you can get homes, you know. That's the exercises I was doing before we got a home. Another thing you want to do is don't let the style of the house turn you down. Like this house, the kitchen was black. They had wallpaper everywhere in the living room, you know. Immediately I entered the house, I knew my staircase was going to be black. I knew my door, the entrance door, it has a very gallant, you know, entryway that I like. It's just something different from most homes I'm used to in London. So the entryway I knew was going to be black. I just saw potential, and I know I'm also going to renovate the kitchen in let's say in a year or two. If my husband hears this, it's gonna be like, calm down, baby. Anyway, I know I'm gonna renovate the kitchen again, but we had to renovate the kitchen. We had to put new floors. We did a lot. We did a lot of things, you know. So yeah, just don't let the view you see, just see potential. If you can even get a house that is very cheap, that has deteriorated, that you need to refurbish, you could also do that, because I've seen people do that. And while you're doing that, you could actually see that, wow, this could be a business for me. I'm giving you ideas. You could actually see that this could be a business for me, like, because I love flipping homes. I just don't have the resources to do that now. Maybe I don't even need that much money. Maybe what I need is information, but you know, God will work in me to make things work. Anyway, another thing I want to let you know is that when you put God in the equation, everything is possible. There are people I know that have been trying to get homes. They have the money, I don't know, things are not just working. I know of a lady that was saving for her home, and before you know what's going on, her daughter fell ill, and then now the money she saved for the house, she went through private doctors to, you know, get cure for the sickness, you know, just to treat her daughter. Now, why you might think that, well, I don't need God, why are we always calling God and things like this? You just have to save up your money, get your information, and get that house in. Things can come from sideways that will take that money from you. If you don't have health, you're not going to think of a house. So that's why I put God in everything I do. Like when I put God into the situation, when I put God into the situation, the amount of frustration I had reduced. You know, I wasn't as frustrated anymore. Things started moving fast. In fact, I will tell you, the mortgage advisor we used to start this process is not the mortgage advisor that ended up helping us achieve this home. It was just like a month into this achieving and getting this house that my husband, all of a sudden, a mortgage guy, he's Indian from nowhere, you know, I think that was the second time he was seeing him at his workplace, approached him and just, you know, passively said, I'm a mortgage advisor, a broker, I would help you with mortgage if you want, you know. And he was like, okay. They started talking, but because we already had this guy we're using, first of all, I'm a very loyal person, but you don't want to be loyal to stupidity to a point that it looks like you're stupid, you know. So the tariff they gave us, right, to pay was very, very high. And then this guy came in and then he was like, no, I can get it for you cheaper, but we can try, just so you know how we can get this done. And that's how we were able to work this out. It was just 1 month, you know, into finishing this process. And I think my husband was on the verge of actually forfeiting the house because the tariff was too high. And he was like, that will make us almost pay, like, imagine paying £3,000 on your mortgage every month. You know, even if that is helping you reduce your mortgage, even if that is helping you pay off your mortgage, but you probably don't have that lying around. You probably, after you've taken off your expenses, tax and everything, you probably don't have that lying there. And if you do take that out, probably you will not have any savings. So this guy just came and he made the process smooth. It just helped us. So God was just bringing people in, and him making me look at this house, looking at this house was also divine, because the last house that I took, also I actually wanted to take, that I went to view, and I was like, babe, you know what, I'm tired, we could just go with this one. And I would not have loved that house, because this one, oh my days, it's just what I love. That house, I was coming from that viewing when this lady called me. See, if you know me, you know I always miss my calls, right? I was coming back from viewing that other house when the viewing agent, the agent for this house, called me and said, are you still coming? Because I had forgotten about this. Not actually forget, I was just like, you know what, I viewed a lot of homes, let me manage this one, you know. I don't want to view anyone anymore. If I had gotten close to my house when this lady called, this agent called, I would not have turned my back down here. I would have been like, you know what, it's fine, I've seen a home. Because I actually assured the lady that I think I would take this house. So because I was close by, I just decided, you know what, let me just turn around and go there. I didn't even have to turn. I just needed to get into a different turn, right? And that was what I did. And from even parking my car, I could already tell that this is my property, because the parking space could take like 9 cars. So if we actually want to extend the house, we can extend it forward, you know, because the back space is not that big, but the front space is very big. So just parking my car there, I was like, you know what, bad as this house is, you know what, you know how we say it in, like we say it in Nigeria, bad as it bad, I'm taking the house. Anyway, another thing I started doing was I started cleaning up my home. I started buying new, little, not expensive things. I started maintaining my home. I changed some of my pillows. I did a lot of good stuff in my home, because that allowed me to have rest in that space and wait for what God is going to do for me in the future. So if you're abandoning your home right now, thinking, you know what, I'm not going to do anything to this home, your curtain is not good, I'm not going to change it, your chairs are falling apart, I'm not going to maintain it because I'm moving into a new home, that is a wrong approach. I feel like you should actually be thankful for where you are, make it a home, and then something else is going to come for you. That will make room for something bigger and better, because if God puts something in your hand and you make good use of it, it's going to give you something bigger. I feel like I just did something there. Anyway, this is all I have about how I manifested this dream into reality. And let me know if you have any question, if you want to use any broker, or you know, just let me know. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things from this video. Till I come your way next time, stay blessed. And please don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please do subscribe. Let's take this channel to another level. Thank you very much. Like, come your way next time. Stay blessed. Bye.